Land, and welcome to another episode of the G Show podcast. I am G1, and still too many G's in this intro. But what's up, everybody? Just quick, there was no Godzilla block party this past weekend. I apologize for that. I just woke up extremely late, and I had a lot of things to do, so I didn't get around to doing my editing and then putting it up. That will be rectified this weekend with not one, but two block parties this weekend. I might put them together to form a super block party. I'm not sure just yet. But the fact of the matter is, you will definitely be getting two Godzilla block parties this weekend. Last weekend's and this weekend's. But before we kick all that off, let's introduce you to my co-hosts on the Godzilla block party. You know him as G73. We know him as Chase. The world over knows him as Mezzy. And it's his birthday weekend! Happy birthday, Chase!
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
We would sing to you, but yeah, we ain't got the time for all that.
You guys aren't drunk enough yet.
Yeah, that's true. It's early in the morning. The beer's flowing. It's an off day. I love it. Also joining us, as always, once again, we got Gam Z1, who also celebrated a birthday earlier this month. It's crazy, I'm telling you. It's birthday after birthday after birthday, and then the big guy's birthday. I'm excited. What's up, Gams?
Oh, I'm all right. Happy birthday, Chase.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Oh, that was beautiful, the way he sung that, wasn't it? All right, so listen, man. Not much in the way of news came out, especially in regards to Godzilla vs. Kong. As I said before, I'm not even talking about that stuff until something happens, which fingers crossed is real soon, but not going to get into it. There were a couple of tidbits in regards to TOHO and what their plans are, and it had a pretty cool title to go along with it. And also, as we pointed out in the last podcast, which should go up before this podcast, so if you're listening to this podcast before you listen to the one I previously put up, this might make sense or not. That guy, Hollywood Scotty, did it again. Holy crap. Those Godzilla vignettes, those little 1-minute clips he does. He did Godzilla in, like, Staten Island, belching fire. Oh, my God, dude. I loved it. He did it again. The last week one was the Raw in Jamaica. This week was the fire in Staten Island. This guy, I'm telling you, man, Legendary needs to get him, or TOHO, somebody needs to get him and let him let loose with a marketing campaign. It should be Legendary. They should be leading up Godzilla vs. Kong with this guy with these small little clips, like we discussed last week. That Godzilla roaring thing, just have Godzilla randomly popping up somewhere around the world, roaring, letting the other Titans know, I am here. I love it. Did you guys get to see this little, like, 55-second clip?
I did not.
No? It's awesome.
Neither did I.
And he also did a compilation video, which is about maybe 5 minutes, maybe less, of, like, all his little Godzilla vignettes that also got posted last week. I mean, we've seen them all, but still, it was very cool, very well done. And again, in a vignette clip like that, it really was like, wow, you just imagine the marketing that we can do like this, utilizing like techniques like this. Amazing stuff. I'm very happy. So you guys go check that out. Hollywood Scotty is his name on YouTube. Check it out, man. He did some really cool stuff, not with just Godzilla. He's got some Cthulhu things. He's got some Stranger things. Sea serpents. He runs the gamut. It's pretty freaking awesome. I'm giving that dude super shout outs. I can't help it. I love it. I'm a sucker for it. But that aside, let's get into this TOHO stuff. Now, last week, I read an article, and then like after I read the article, I almost forgot about it until Chase, put it back in my brain. He sent us the link. There's something called, well, I don't know if it's called Godzilla Genesis, but TOHO is about to do something crazy. I'm going to let Chase explain what it is, and then Gams and myself will just comment like we normally do. So, Chase, what is this Godzilla Genesis?
All right. Godzilla celebrates 65th anniversary and launch of Godzilla Genesis by stomping into canes. Get ready. It's a pretty lengthy article, but it says, It starts out in 1954, Japanese studio Toho introduced the world to Godzilla. And except for a few Hollywood collaborations, they've kept the king of the monsters to themselves. But as Godzilla celebrates its 65th anniversary this fall, Toho is celebrating by spreading the gospel of Godzilla to the rest of the world. We're very excited to revitalize the original series of 29 feature films, says Takaki Nawazawa, head of global licensing for Toho, during an interview at the company's Tokyo headquarters. Audiences have always appreciated the franchise, and now we feel the time is right to launch our new exciting Godzilla Genesis campaign. Toho is excited to be able to offer all 29 films, either as a package or separately, to international broadcasters, cable stations, and video platforms for the very first time. Because MCOM is a market for media content, we're looking forward to discussing deals for the series, says Nakazawa, but we also want to strengthen the brand value of the franchise. In preparation for Godzilla Genesis, Toho conducted a survey to gauge public awareness of Godzilla in other countries around the world and found that the majority of the respondents were familiar and had a relatively strong engagement with the monster. But as Nakazawa points, there is still a great deal of potential for the character. The key driving content will be different in each territory, he says. For instance, in China, the Hollywood versions contributed greatly to Godzilla's popularity, while in the US and Europe, the original Toho films are mainly responsible. Godzilla is such an iconic presence that the brand encompasses more than just the films, so merchandising will also figure heavily in the campaign. Toho plans to showcase the Godzilla brand's sake at its MIPCOM launch of Godzilla Genesis, and at their booth in the future, it will also license other titans of the Godzilla universe, such as Mothra, Rodan, individually. For the first time, they'll also increase localization by providing production entries with music and effects, soundtracks, so that individual films can be dubbed into other languages. Despite the fact that Americans first encountered Godzilla through the hybrid version of the original in 1956, the Godzilla films produced by Toho have so far not been dubbed, with very few exceptions. Much of the series appeals its never-ending cycle of destruction and rebirth, a theme that may seem particularly Japanese given the island's nation's history, but which Nakazawa believes is universal. People all over the world suffer disasters that they must overcome to rebuild their lives and move on. He says it's something everybody understands and is a universal experience. And that's the end of the article.
That's interesting. There's a lot of stuff in there that I really like. But Gams, anything that stuck out for you?
So, does that mean that they're going to try to, actually properly dub the 1954 movie?
Oh, good. That's a good question. I mean, if they're talking about giving out the audio tracks, the music and the sound effects, and then just leaving the dialogue blank, that is a possibility. I mean, if that's the case, I mean, Toho really is going all out to bring Godzilla to every corner of the world, every market. I'm okay with that. One thing I will say, what I found really interesting is the fact that it said because of the Legendary movies, Godzilla is booming in China. I would have thought Godzilla would have been booming in China for however many years, only because it's China and Japan are right next to each other almost, and the Asian markets, it's all there. You would think that China would have been having a Godzilla boom for some time, yet here it is. And the only thing I could think of is because what was it, Tencent? Who's the pictures that own
Tencent Pictures?
Tencent, right? That's the only thing I could think of, because they own Legendary, and Legendary's making these Americanized Godzilla movies, these big Hollywood Godzilla movies. That's the reason why that's said like that. But personally, I would have thought that Godzilla was booming in China for 64 plus years.
Turns out I might be wrong.
I have no full definite answer to that. All I know is when you live in a communist country, I don't know. I'm not surprised Godzilla's not. I'm not surprised about what he said. But I mean, personally was never under the impression Godzilla was big in China. Okay. That was just me personally.
I mean, here's a perspective. I know for a fact because I hear it so often from our good friend Gorgo Leonard. He hasn't been here in quite some time. The folks over in the UK get barely anything when it comes to Godzilla. They have to import a lot from us here in the States.
That's because Gorgo's their number one guy. The British don't want no stinking Godzilla. They want more Gorgo. I bet you they have like tons and tons and tons of like Konga, like things like that, like those old crazy movies and stuff. But
maybe.
I mean, it's an interesting thing, and again, like I'm surprised at Toho for just being this open with Godzilla, especially because of their history of just being stingy and like very protective of their property, which I 100% get. But times are changing, man, and this is definitely new stuff for Toho, and man, I applaud them. I applaud them. So
I think it's great that finally Godzilla's going to become more flattened out on all areas of marketing and media. It's not just going. It's not just going to be isolated or felt like it's like a best kept secret. And I like that. I also think of it as in like Toho's willing to. It's time for us to take a really big step into a big risk and just let Godzilla flourish. And I like that because that means hopefully 25 years from now, Godzilla will still be very easy to get.
Let me ask y'all this question: do you think this might be a way for Toho to say to all these other markets, hey, we're gonna let you do what you want with these Godzilla movies, okay? Like dub them, not do what you want because the movies are the movies, but redub them into your native language, put them out onto your own TV channels, your TV services, or your streaming services, whatever you can get. For instance, like El Rey has like the 4th of July Kaiju Dawn, or the Christmas one, or Thanksgiving. I forget which one.
Yeah, Thanksgiving,
right? They run. TNT used to have Monster Fest, where they used to run several Godzilla movies.
Sci-Fi used to all the time too.
And Sci-Fi used to do it. Now
they did.
Which one?
I said they did. They did. Sci-Fi did.
Yeah, right. So now I'm like, it is what Toho's saying is like, you can run all of these movies if you want on all of these platforms. Like, how does that work? Do, let's say, El Rey just get the Showa movies, or or Criterion Channel? What's it, Turner Classics?
El Rey usually did the Heisei and Millennium movies.
They did, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
They didn't do very many Showa movies.
So then that's the case. Then and then TNT gets that, or is it now okay? El Rey, you could get whatever you want, pick of the litter. TNT, get whatever you want, pick of the litter. Like, that article said a lot without explaining a lot. You know what I mean? So sometimes
I honestly think that Toho's not going to care. I think they're just going to let their product out in the market and let whoever wants it deal with it. As long as the market's paying Toho for what why should they care who has it on one channel or not? Let that be a war between those companies, not Toho.
Dude, yeah, absolutely right.
It wouldn't affect Toho in the slightest.
It's like buying the rights to a show and like Friends, for instance, and then just airing it all the reruns, and you always making a profit. Now imagine that, but like on a level where several different channels, have it, or streaming services that if you have the streaming services, you get a cut. I don't know the logistics of that stuff. I'm not even going to try to understand the logistics of that stuff as far as streaming goes, but like just regular TV channels or, cable channels, whatever the case may be, that's major. That's pretty funky, bro. I remember Cinemax showing Godzilla vs. Biollante, and my head was spinning. Like, oh shit, Godzilla vs. Biolante's on Cinemax. Whoa, things like that, man.
And you know, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting you brought up El Rey, because they actually did not have their Kaijulai marathon this year.
They didn't. I was upset with that because I had just gotten El Rey, and then that didn't happen. I'm like, son of a bitch.
TMC is a TV company that also is going to be getting I think they're getting rights to show stuff as well.
So let me ask you where I wanted to go before I got sidetracked with this TV stuff, because I thought that was important at the time. When Toho says, let's say, Andrew, you're a particular country with its own language and all that, and Chase, you're a particular country with its own language and stuff, and maybe I'm Toho. And I come to both of you and I'm like, hey, listen, y'all both want Godzilla? Here's Godzilla. Here's Godzilla. Do what you got to do. Dub it in your own language. You know, put it out. Put it out there for your country, for your people. Do you think that maybe somewhere down the line, Toho comes back to them and go, hey, Godzilla's, you know, we're doing well in your country. Again, I'm going to come to you. We're doing well in your country, and people really seem to like Godzilla. How about we make a Godzilla movie? We film some of it in your country, or most of it in your country. We get some stipends going. You make some money, and then it becomes a bigger hit there. You know what I mean? Like, that global brand, that global marketing thing. Yes, Legendary's doing what they're doing with Godzilla right now, and it's making buku bucks, quote unquote, but more money than you would think like a third world country would make, or something in that regard. But that would get people in the seats. That would be like, oh wow, look, Godzilla's here in my country. Like, let's get this going. Kind of like how Final Wars did. Destroy All Monsters did it too, you know, but on a much lesser scale. It was. But like, do you think that's a thing Toho's like maybe down the line? Hey, let's do that.
It would be certainly interesting, because like, Godzilla is mostly known as a Japanese creature, but he's still a creature who considers pretty much all of the Earth his territory. So who's to say he can't make landfall in other countries? So having these countries like basically give Toho the rights to make a Godzilla movie set in their country, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
This kind of is interesting because I remember a while back when Toho was talking about wanting to allow Hollywood to do more Godzilla films in the future, when they were saying, like, regardless of what happens after Legendary's run, they're talking about going back and Hollywood still having their hand in Godzilla. To me, this just gives it more of a staple to. I feel like they're going to basically let it be like, if production companies are wanting to do a Godzilla movie, why should we, Toho, limit just one company right now to doing it? Of course, that's not what's going on right now, but what if, I'm thinking what it's sounding like is the plan in the future is like, if there are other companies that want to have their hand in our products, why should we deny them? And that's what it's sounding like. It's sounding like they're going to start putting their feet forward and put it in the water more. And they're going to let people have more free access to their creature. So,
imagine an animated Godzilla Disney musical.
Stop! Don't give us nightmares. Chase's birthday's this weekend. My birthday's next week. Don't give us nightmares because your birthday already came and went. All right? We don't need that negativity in our lives. And besides, Martin Scorsese might say something terrible about that if that's the case. And we don't want Uncle Marty going nowhere near Godzilla. Leave him out of it. But, you know, like, yeah, it's like Chase said, it's kind of extending an olive branch and saying, hey, yo, if it does well, let's use your big cities. Let's light up the Dubai Tower for real this time. You know, like, I don't know. I think it's fantastic.
Let's build a life-size Godzilla building.
Or, yeah, right? Like, for real, let's make Godzilla Land legit.
I would be terrified to get into a building as big as Godzilla, to be honest.
No, it depends on Godzilla's size. I mean, I've been in plenty of...
I'd be down with Toho just building more Godzilla hotels around than just Japan.
Yes. Well, the Godzilla stores, those pop-up stores, got to work.
That totally reminds me, because I remember, like, about a year ago, I remember reading an article that hasn't been resurfaced in a while, but Toho were talking about, in LA, they were talking about one of the futures was making, I don't think it was a year ago, I think it was a couple months ago, because I think I remember us talking to one of you guys about it, but they were talking about doing, like, Godzilla-themed places in LA. Like, they said they wanted to do, like, a little theme park or movie theater type thing in L.A. And, like, that, like, this, I mean, that would be interesting to see. I would be cool with, like, a Godzilla hotel in L.A. That'd be cool.
All this just reassures and reaffirms that Toho is not playing when it comes to globally branding Godzilla, and justifiably so. I said it before on this podcast, I'll say it again right now. Godzilla is the type of character that everybody knows, whether they love it or not, everybody knows it's in the public conscience, like Batman, like Spider-Man, like Superman, like the Avengers right now. It is in the public conscience. It's there. So if you can do something on a small scale and, you know, get people to go to that, little by little, that money trickles in, and then you still make money. And then Toho, when they start to make a new Godzilla movie, they have a nice chunk of budget from all of these little offshoot things from around the world, and bam, we get another Godzilla. 1985. I'm wearing that shirt right now. I love it. Real quick, off that topic, I want to say something, man. So this Saturday here in Sin City, there was a thing, like a convention. It was called Sin City Halloween, right? They do this annually, and I had marked this down on my calendar about a month ago, a little more than a month ago, because at this Sin City Halloween thing that was going to happen this Saturday, the 26th, there was Godzilla Day. And I was like, oh, I'm in, I'm going, I'm there. Well, this morning I looked at my phone, and unfortunately, it got canceled. And I was very sad about this. So it says, sadly, you know, the entertainment company, Paul Casey Entertainment LLC, sadly announces that 2019 Sin City Halloween event is canceled until next year. Then I read this. Plans for next year include special VIP Toho Pictures Ltd. Godzilla Day. Now my fingers are crossed. It's gonna be 2020. You know what I mean? If it happens at this time, you know, Godzilla's birthday is the following week. So I'm excited for this. I have to wait a year. I was really excited to go this year. I'm not gonna lie. I was really excited to go, but unfortunately, it got canceled. I really would have loved to see what they're doing. But now that I see that Toho is gonna be scheduled to make an appearance next year, I am really, really looking forward to that. Not Legendary, Toho. So, I know that this is canceled, but there are conventions that are happening. Chase, you had said something about I forgot what it was, what the location was, but there was something that they were going to, another convention or something, correct?
Oh, you mean coming up?
Coming up, yes.
Well, the Sao Paulo movie convention in December, but I don't know if Toho's going to be there. If you're thinking of something else,
is it Legendary?
Well, Warner Brothers will be there.
Okay, well, all right.
But the thing is the why I brought that up was because Warner Brothers was talking about posting the big slates for movies, aka Wonder Woman, and I have a big feeling that's probably where Godzilla vs. Kong will show up. Okay.
Yeah. Do you know, like, what is it? Early December?
December 8th, I believe.
Which leads me to believe exactly. The timeline still remains intact. I'm going to say it, guys. You can disagree. I want to know what you think. The timeline to me still stays intact in regards to that bit of information. Godzilla's birthday is next week, Sunday. By the way, we're going to be doing a podcast Sunday, whether it's just me or if my cohorts are here or we got more people. We will be doing something on Sunday to celebrate Godzilla. Godzilla's birthday's next week. We'll see a teaser. This is what I think. I believe this. We'll see a teaser. A teaser. I'm not saying nothing big. Maybe a minute, 15 seconds. We're going to get something. December 8th rolls around. Warner Brothers is at this thing. They're doing their slate. They're getting ready. They show some stuff for Godzilla vs. Kong. December 20th, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker drops. You drop the final trailer right there. Boop. Because we still don't know that March is still the release date for this movie. It's unbelievably has not been changed nor talked about. So that's still official.
Well,
Uh-oh.
not about the actual movie itself, but about the trailer.
Okay.
Something that I've been noticing, especially those who Legendary on Instagram, there's not complete silence when it comes to the trailer.
Okay.
People keep on asking for the trailer, and Legendary keeps on telling them no.
What? You think they're trolling or what's going on? Is this like a GBA thing?
I have no idea, but like they're pretty much telling the fans whenever they ask them all over Instagram where the trailer is, you'll get it when you'll get it.
Ah. Okay.
And you guys could go on Instagram right now to Legendary's Instagram, and you could confirm me on this. They're literally telling people, no, you'll get it when you get it.
Okay, so Gams, what do you take from that? What do you think?
I'm taking it as Legendary's kind of getting sick and tired of us spamming them with "Where's the trailer?" Like they're probably working on it. The December 8th thing kind of sounds, it's still far away, but it sounds plausible. The Godzilla's birthday, November 3rd, still a really weird day to drop any sort of trailer for anything.
But again, I don't think it's going to be like now the exclusive worldwide release of, they're not going to make a spectacle of it. I think, this is just me personally, I think it's just going to be for the fans. Here you go, fans. That'll pacify you until we drop the legit final one, Star Wars time.
Yeah. But we'll see what happens. I just wanted to bring up the fact that they're pretty much just flat out shutting people down whenever people ask.
I love it.
Yeah, it's funny. There's guys like, where the heck is my Godzilla vs. Kong trailer? And Legendary responds, it's not under the couch.
Wow, Legendary with the legendary trolls. I love it. Whoever's in charge of Legendary's social media account, thumbs up. You're like Wendy's, bro. Wendy's social media account is off the chain. Legendary, you keep playing them cards like that, man. I give you nothing but respect and props. I love you. Man, that's really good. Chase, let me ask you, because, we didn't get to it the last week. You've been meaning to talk about some ideas you had, some speculations you had, just theories you had in regards to Godzilla vs. Kong plot lines. We did a podcast about this not too long ago where we were just like gushing and ranting and raving about the potential this movie has and our dream version of this movie. But you've had some other ideas since that podcast, bro. I want to, throw them out there to us.
Yeah, well, as a mix of me being very in the back of the audience for Godzilla vs. Kong right now, I'm starting to get the want and the hype and the excitement for Godzilla vs. Kong. So I've been rewatching King of the Monsters and I've been rewatching Kong Skull Island back and forth, back to back, almost every night. But it got me thinking, what could the plot for Godzilla vs. Kong be? So I wrote down a few, and I'd love to hear everyone else's ideas as well, but I wrote down 4 big ones, and so here's the first plot. And now, this may not be anything canon or anything like that or anything we have. This is just what I thought could be an interesting thing, talking about, like, let's say we get a movie after Godzilla versus Kong, stuff like that. Maybe there's certain plot things that are going to be added into that we saw earlier, you know. So just bear with me. Here's one of the first ones. Monarch starts receiving some serious seismic activity on Skull Island, and they go to investigate, and lo and behold, they crash and find out that there has been a new Titan that has emerged and is destroying the island. And then Godzilla shows up, and the Titan draws Kong in as well. And then the Titan, Godzilla shows up, and the Titan draws Kong to Godzilla, and they end up pitting them against each other, and that causes kind of like a big inner conflict. Then I had another one where Monarch has a dormant Titan underneath Skull Island, or a dead one, and Charles Dance needs DNA to help finish his Titan, or mechanical components, causing Kong to fight the Titan, dragging Godzilla into the fight. Maybe there's like an imbalance of nature there. And I had another one that I thought was kind of funny. Charles Dance tries to steal Kong, and Kong senses Godzilla during a transport and breaks the ship that he's in. And then causing Godzilla and Kong to clash, and then Charles Dance finds another way to complete a Titan. Maybe he has something in the works. Or Charles Dance incorporates the Orca into a mech to control the Titans, pitting Godzilla and Kong against each other until his own complete mech or Titan with cybernetic compounds. And also Charles Dance may have a full-fledged Titan being created from King Ghidorah's DNA. Just because some of the stuff Michael Dougherty was saying about like regeneration DNA and regenerative factors and stuff, I thought about like, what does that necessarily mean for a Titan? It's like, so I was thinking of like, what would be a big, like the plot for Godzilla versus Kong? Because to me, it's just the way it's all set up sounds weird, because it's like, how does it all start? What is the drama of this? What brings Godzilla and Kong to fight? So I was thinking of certain ways that might have done that, and so those are some of the few ones I thought up. But I thought about, like, it's Charles Dance going to have like a necromorph from Dead Space that's just going to regenerate and stuff? Because that's what it's like. That's what kind of what Mike Dougherty was sounding like. His Titan's going to have regenerative factors, which could be, I mean, I'm down for that. I think that's cool. But it makes me wonder, you know, obviously whatever Charles Dance is doing is going to cause a big conflict. But, however, what if that's not even in Godzilla versus Kong? That's going to be in some other movie. And that's the thing, because none of us really know exactly what Godzilla versus Kong is going to be like. And what's weird is, as of the moment, none of the actors except Millie Bobby Brown and Kyle Chandler have been stated to return for Godzilla versus Kong. So I'm confused to really what is the big dilemma here, and I was wondering, you know, what have you guys thought about plots for Godzilla versus Kong? What do you think is going to be the driving factor for this movie?
Gams, you want to jump? Or
okay, hear me out. It's at the end of King of the Monsters. Godzilla's doing his final bellowing roar, and then out from the distance, here comes Kong. And he shouts, "Your mom's fat!"
Oh boy!
Godzilla goes, "No, you!" And then they fight.
Oh my god! And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The spirit of Anthony is alive and well.
But in all honesty, I'm not much one for like speculating stuff like that, because out of both worry that I'm just hyping myself up for things that'll never happen, or I'm actually spoiling myself with my own theories, and I'm in the same line as the directors, and it's just, you know, it's just not something I'm into.
I hear you on that. The spoilers.
See, that's a big thing that got me hyped, was making those speculations and thoughts, because
honestly, I couldn't give a rat's ass about Godzilla versus Kong right now until I started thinking about like stuff like how the movie would be. Then I started getting more excited for it, and now I'm like King of the Monsters hyped.
I liked. Was it your second idea? I liked the idea of a Titan underneath Skull Island that's dormant. I like that idea. And the reason why I say that is because with King Ghidorah, all right, King Ghidorah was creating these, superstorms, just being King Ghidorah, like it's an alien one, so it was just changing, the freaking environment, nature. It was just changing,
terraforming the planet.
Right. It was just insanity. What's surrounding Skull Island?
Water.
Not water, of course it's water. It's an island.
That's great. Yeah, you both said the same thing. Okay, skull crawlers and mountains.
A freaking superstorm, doofuses. Good God Almighty! Like one of the best sequences of the entire movie is them flying through the damn storm. A fog.
Larry and Curly here.
Yeah, exactly. It's a fog bank in the original movies. It's something that obscures the island. What if that something is that Titan underground? That dormant Titan? What if it's changing, nature around the island? It's changing the atmosphere around the island. Kind of like King Ghidorah was doing with just being King Ghidorah. So I like that idea of a dormant Titan, and then we know that Skull Island exists now. I'm pretty sure Monarch has a way of getting there with ease at this point in time. It's been several decades. So, but I do like that, and I do like that idea of whatever, Godzilla going there, not for Kong, but because Godzilla's on the island and Kong's like, yo, dude, you in my way. They go at it. But then again, the action does spill off into like Hawaii, Florida, apparently. Like they're going all over the place. So
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong is, well, of course Hong Kong, because Tencent, you know what I mean? So I like that idea. One thing that now I was thinking of too, that you were talking about Charles Dance, of course you got King Ghidorah's head. King Ghidorah regenerated that head in a matter of minutes, correct?
Yeah.
They're looking at Kevin's head, and it's definitely days, if not weeks later. Do you think the reason why it hasn't begun its regeneration process, do you think it's because it was in the water when the oxygen destroyer hit?
It was clearly dead. Like there were flies surrounding it. It was decomposing.
That's what I'm saying, though. This thing is an alien. We don't understand its biology. So if, let's just say, when Godzilla rips off that head and King Ghidorah grows the head back like nothing, what if this other head had kind of like the Hydra? You cut one head off or that's not it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, what if King Ghidorah was going to start to grow again through Kevin, but because of the oxygen destroyer, it's not. Because either they're going to just take DNA from the thing, they're going to actually use it to revive it, kind of like one of the greatest Heisei movies of all time, 1991's Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah.
Wrong.
I did that on purpose. It was just a theory. It's just like a weird theory that just popped into my head. Like, what is that going to be used for? DNA?
And see, that's a hard one, because I go back and forth on that one, because Godzilla vs. Kong is supposed to take place just like a day or two right after King of the Monsters. It's supposed to take place like directly after King of the Monsters. So, I mean,
directly after King of the Monsters, huh?
Yep.
Your mom's fat theory may be true.
No, how it should have ended, that was probably how it's going to happen.
Yeah. You know what's funny? What if that is the case, right? And it does take place like that. What if, as King of the Monsters is going on, they're like, Godzilla might need help. Hey, we got this thing on this island here. Let's go get him. You know?
No, it's interesting because like I definitely see it going both ways. I think Charles Dance may try to find a way to bring King Ghidorah back, maybe, or make a very honestly make a variation of King Ghidorah in his own image, possibly. Obviously, it sounds like Charles Dance is trying to make his own Titan. He's trying to make his own Titan to liberate what he thinks the world should be liberated with.
Now, all right, here's my problem with that though. Never in the movie did they say Charles Dance was this God, what's the word? DNA specialist. You know, he's not a Frankenstein's monster. He is a freedom fighter, and all he wanted to do was use the Titans to destroy the world so he could bring humanity back and live the way he felt was necessary to live. Not once was he a mad scientist.
But the thing is, he's a leader, and he could have people do that for him.
I get that, but there was no indication at all in this movie that he had any mad science. He didn't have a Dr. Mafoni tinkering around in the background. You know what I mean?
Or guys, he goes to Skull Island, holds Skull Island hostage, and makes Monarch do it for him.
And that's what I was thinking. And that's exactly what I was thinking. And that's where the crazy ideas, of course, that everybody, Mecha King Ghidorah, which again is not out of the realm of possibility because I did not believe that was going to be Burning Godzilla. Yet there it was. Burning Godzilla.
But we also have to take into consideration that Charles Dance is not going to be in Godzilla vs. Kong.
That's true too. All of these things we got to take in. But if he is, because of what King of the Monsters has set up, and if it is taking place like days after King of the Monsters, now, wherever Charles Dance's character is at the end of that movie, in comparison to where Godzilla was when he's standing on the mountaintop roaring, we don't know how much time has elapsed during that period. You know what I mean? So
yeah, you think it would be like a day or so if he went back to is it Mexico?
Yeah, Mexico, right? A day or so. Hell, it could have been a week or two. But the fact is, we have to take that where King of the Monsters legitly ended. Charles Dance's character. That we got to say that's where GVK starts off. You know what I mean? Like that's got to be the beginning. What I'm saying though is, Chase, I'm with you on this. Charles Dance gets wind, and it's in the newspapers. It says it at the end. And again, I don't think Michael Dougherty is jipping anybody. Those newspaper clippings at the end of King of the Monsters are there for a reason. If you can pause and read and do all the necessary things. He
says that specifically. Those are vital information.
Charles Dance is reading that article and he's saying, wait, what? What if we can mechanize this thing? And they go to Skull Island and they, like you said, they make Monarch do what they got to do. And maybe the reason why Godzilla and Kong go at it is because Godzilla senses King Ghidorah is around. I mean, he did it in King of the Monsters. He was there at the Bermuda Triangle. Next thing you know, he's in the Arctic Ocean because Charles Dance blew up King Ghidorah's grave or ISO chamber, whatever you want to call it.
He senses the threat.
Yeah, he sensed the threat even when they were just drilling the holes to prepare to let him out.
Right. So
that's really trippy thinking about that because that's like saying Godzilla can tell the future.
Oh, he's just in tune to, nature and the balance. Godzilla, like Severzawa said, Godzilla's the balance. I believe Godzilla is the balance.
That's the big thing, though. That's what's cool about it.
Yeah.
Godzilla sensed a disturbance in the Force.
Oh, dare we say that on the Godzilla podcast? No, we dare not. But, and again, because it kind of goes back to what Kong doesn't give a shit about nothing unless it rears its ugly head.
Kong thinks his shit don't stink.
Right, and to me, that's like the beauty of this. So let's say that is the case. All hypothetical here, guys. Let's say that is the case. Charles Dance does infiltrate Monarch, and on Skull Island, Monarch is messing around with mechanized beings. They're creating mechs, and Charles Dance is like, hook this head up into one of these things, and let's get the ball rolling. Kong is not going to give a shit unless that creature comes out and is a threat. You think Kong was worried about the helicopters coming in? No, it wasn't until they started dropping the bombs and destroying his land. Then he came out and said, what the hell's going on? Because we don't know what happened at the end of Skull Island when he saw the helicopters. You know what I mean?
He has PTSD.
I mean, he clearly doesn't mind Monarch setting up a base at Skull Island.
At all.
Well, do we know that for sure?
They clearly state in King of the Monsters that there is a Monarch outpost at Skull Island.
Yeah, but do we know that Kong let them do that peacefully, or do they have defenses to help counteract that? Because you think they would do the same for Skull Crawlers too, just like how they had that Mothra containment type thing in King of the Monsters when they put those lasers around. I wonder, it's possible they may have a defense system like that.
The comic book.
Pretty much all the monsters, at least according to the novelization, have a kill switch in case things go wrong.
Kong doesn't.
Obviously, none of them worked because all the monsters got out.
I don't think
Kong probably does have a kill switch.
Yeah, I don't think he does. I don't think he has one because the comic book, it was 1996 when Brooks' son went there, right?
Yeah.
And Kong was free roaming, like, what's up? What y'all doing here? What's going on? Oh, this guy's going crazy. Let me smash him. Who did Kong? Did Kong even fight anything? I don't even remember. I got to read that thing again. Did Kong fight anything in that book?
I don't think he fought any giant monster.
He was just there as, like, the majestic being,
he just
right?
fought people.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, some guy tried. I remember. I think some guy just tried to kill Kong and is causing some problems.
Yeah,
but I'm not too sure.
So I like this idea. Again, I feel like Gam Gams when he says I don't like to speculate because I'll be disappointed if it's not. If I come up with something in my head right now, I'm like, hey, this actually works. Everything has been established. There's a line. Godzilla. He knows when King Ghidorah is up and at him, and he's going. He's got to stop him. And Kong doesn't care unless it's a threat to his island. So if King Ghidorah gets awakened in this mechanized form, but that's all that happens. He's just there. He's chained up. He's underground somewhere. Kong is not going to go out of his way to be like, yo, who's down there? Same way he didn't do it with the Skullcrawlers. He didn't poke his head down into one of them holes and go, yo, I'm coming down there. I'm going to kick your asses. Get off my... No. It wasn't until they came up and attacked. All right, let's go. So if Godzilla now comes up to Skull Island, Kong's like, what the hell is this? We get the fight. We get the clash. King Ghidorah gets away. He flies away. Godzilla goes follow. Kong goes follows. There's mayhem everywhere around the world. Once again, pandemonium and Legendary's Amazing Series comes to an end with Godzilla dying. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. If they do that, I'll be pissed off. Don't do it, Legendary. Long live the king. Anyway, that's my 5 cents. That's all I've got.
I definitely don't think Godzilla's going to die in any shape or form. I don't think Kong is going to die in any shape or form.
I don't think they can legally do that.
Yeah, I think so too. They can't legally do that. I actually am with Andrew on that 100%. I don't think
has mandates.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it is true that King Ghidorah is coming back, I mean, we already got some type of trailer, teaser, speculation that said King Ghidorah was in it. But whether that's true or not, all we have until we see it, It's true.
Right.
But they're not going to kill Godzilla off regardless of whether it was legal, because if they have any hopes of continuing this franchise, they're not going to do that. It would be a big mistake to do that and then just totally rebirth a new Godzilla. Like that would be a waste of money. That would be whole new licensing and copyright design. I don't think they would do that unless they just totally kill one legendary Godzilla off to make another one back. Has the same design and everything. It's just new. It's younger, which is like Gamera. The fucking Gamera the Brave. I don't think they'll do that.
We don't want that. We don't want that Gamera with the 76 Kong roll. We do not want that at all. All right, so let me ask you a question real quick, guys. Godzilla versus Kong. We're gonna get back the Titans that we've seen in King of the Monsters. Will we see a plethora of new Titans?
There are a bunch of outposts that weren't explored in either the movie or the novelization. You got things like Titanus Bunyip in Australia. You got
Kamaku.
you got a bunch of them. Yeah, you got a bunch of them.
Or Kamaznots, that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of untapped potential when it comes to the original monsters.
All right, cool. As long as Rodan doesn't die, I'm all right.
See, now that's the only monster I want to die. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
And on that
No.
note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna send Chase back in for his birthday. No, I'm just kidding. That's disrespectful, brother. You know how I feel about
Mecha Rodan.
Oh my God! Listen. How about this? The opening of Godzilla vs Kong. Rodan is in a battle with some other creature. Rodan gets his chopped in the neck. Oh, his throat's messed up, and then he flies to Skull Island, and they put a mechanical voice box into Rodan so he can have his iconic roar. I don't care how they do it. Just fix it, damn it. Fix it, Adam Wingard.
And then the drama is that the voice box malfunctions, and he sounds like Eddie Murphy for the rest of the movie.
You know, I'm picturing that in my head. I'm visualizing the whole thing with that laugh, and I'm like, damn. As much as I hate it, that's amazing. Oh, Jesus. I'm just saying, God dang it. Adam Wingard, please fix Rodan's roar. If you do, I don't care if the movie sucks. As long as you fix that roar, I'm going to love it. I'm going to love like they fixed the roar. I don't care what you say. I don't hear what you're saying. Where are you talking about Godzilla was in 2 minutes of the movie? I didn't see that. All I heard was Rodan's roar. That's it. That's all I need. That's all I need. Good God Almighty. But all right, bros. Before we wrap this up, any last words? Any topic of the day?
No, man. It's been pretty barren. Other than just the recently, I think yesterday there was a Toho type thing, and they're just talking about more product that a collector's edition for King of the Monsters that was really awesome. They showed like all the photos and stuff of that and everything, but that's about it.
Well, maybe a potential part 2 to what my topic was last week. Chase, you left early. Do you have anything you want to ask about the Godzilla card game?
I don't have any questions about it at the moment. I haven't really thought about it, but if I get a question, we definitely can save it for the next podcast and we can bring it up. Okay. That's actually, it's funny you bring that up actually, because Toho actually was promoting that card game at their event yesterday. They were at, along with a Burning Godzilla SH Monster Arts.
Oh yeah, they did announce the. Okay, let me get into this because I'm the toy guy. So Tamashi and Toho at their event just recently unveiled. Basically, they showed off the poster version of Godzilla that's going to be with the collector set. But they also showed off NSH Monster Arts Burning Godzilla 2019. And it's interesting that they're showing both off, because I would think that if you're trying to sell one, why show off the other? But I guess it doesn't matter too much since they're just both repaints anyway. The consensus between us toy people, looking at all the groups and stuff, is that the Burning Godzilla doesn't look too great.
Really? Okay.
It's not looking too hot.
Wow, I'm on a completely other side of that. I'm on the other side with that. I thought it was pretty awesome. Really, I saw a picture. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I
thought NECA's Burning Godzilla looked better.
I honestly haven't liked NECA's or SH Monster Arts Burning Godzilla, but I actually like NECA's a lot better. I think there needs to be some black residue in that Godzilla.
We're talking about King of the Monsters Burning Godzilla, right? That's
yes.
Okay.
Yes,
okay. Yeah, I thought it looked good. Okay.
I want an actual movie authentic looking Burning Godzilla, not one that's half-assed.
Wait, you mean to tell me you want something that looks like?
So what you're asking for is an X Plus?
Yes. Except the price of a NECA figure.
That Burning Godzilla just reminded me, I'm going to make a comic book reference here that many might not get, but those who read Marvel Comics will. That Burning Godzilla in King of the Monsters reminded me of Benjamin Grimm, a.k.a. The Thing, in Fear Itself. The storyline a couple years back, more than a couple years back, he got possessed by some Asgardian god of fear and became like a horseman, quote unquote. And you know, Ben Grimm he's the Thing. He's an orange rock, but this one was cool because he was like kind of black with the orange in between. And every time I see that when Godzilla goes up and starts doing his combustion form, or whatever you want to call it, Mothra Godzilla ships. Yeah, it reminds me of that. But yeah,
Your pulses.
It's not even a pulse. You're right. Oh God. All right, I digress because I thought that was a cool part of the movie. It does upset me a bit. Anyhow, that will do it.
On the other note, so you can decompress a little longer, Bandai also announced they are going to be releasing a crap ton of Godzilla toys, including an old Anguirus figure.
Oh yeah, that was announced a little while ago. This coming December, they're releasing 4 figures.
Nice.
One is Final Wars Gigan.
Oh,
The one that you were looking at is Final Wars Anguirus.
Yeah.
They're re-releasing their original mold of 1954 Godzilla, and by original mold I mean the ever first time Bandai ever made a 1954 figure. Bandai Japan. They're re-releasing that mold, and then Bandai High Grade, Bandai Premium, which is their higher priced, more detailed version. They're releasing a 1954 Godzilla that is in the poster colors, so it's going to look like
that
the
green,
1954
purple?
poster,
Like the green and purple. Wait, all right, not the American poster, the original Japanese one.
the original Japanese poster.
Okay,
where
so
it's got
a lot
the red,
of
where it's got
browns.
the red and browns.
Yeah, okay. That's pretty sick. I gotta see that.
And I'm still holding out because that's actually the second figure that's coming out in December from Bandai Premium. One that got announced a while back was Showa King Ghidorah, where it's going to have it's going to be both gold and it's going to have its prototype colors, where it's blue and has the rainbow wings.
That's pretty awesome. Well then, that'll do it for this episode of the Godzilla Block Party. I want to thank my co-hosts and cohorts for joining us. Gams, thank you, my brother.
Of course. Again, happy birthday, Chase.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
That's right. And the birthday boy himself, my brother Chase, thank you so much, brother, for joining us.
No, absolutely. I was really glad I could make it. I'm having fun talking to you guys.
Absolutely. And listen, man, enjoy your birthday weekend. Have a lot of fun. Okay? Do your thing, bro.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy, so I'm excited for it.
Yeah, just make sure you're back for next week's Godzilla 65, okay?
I'm usually the one that's the designated driver on these occasions anyways.
Awesome. And thank y'all all out there for listening to this Godzilla Block Party. I am G1, and we'll be back next week for Godzilla 65. Best believe that. We out of here. Peace.